homeschooling or to home education.
Just setting up the live broadcast. Will take a few moments. Please bear with. Thank you.
Today, children who are home educated, to show that these children are not invisible, they are not hidden, they are not ghosts. They are very much known and loved and cared for by their parents and without any help from the state. And that's what we're doing here today. I don't know if any of the moms want to come and share their personal stories at all. If anyone wants to share a story.
Just setting up the live broadcast. Will take a few moments. Please bear with. Also, in addition to this protest going on, as we see in the top left-hand corner, there is a man who has climbed Big Ben, and the police have formed a line so people don't go past.
Which I think is fundamentally wrong for myself and many parents in the same situation actually stay. As he's only 8, I mean 10 years from the I don't want to be forced into giving away my son. It's not in any way. There is no. There is. Oh, there is. As one of those, there's my child, my child. I love it. So one of the issues with the children's wellbeing in school bill is that it was being rushed through the House of Commons. It was only introduced into the House of Commons.
Just setting up live broadcast. Will take a few moments. Please bear with.
And then they had the second reading on the 8th of January, so they gave people time to vote to the MPs. And then after that, it was a rush to the committee stage. They did rush call to evidence. They did not publish everybody's submissions to the call for evidence. And now it is basically rushed to the third stage, and it's the House of Lords. This bill is a dangerous bill. It is a slippery slope bill. It has implications in the long term for all families with children. Even if your children are in school, there are some serious implications. You need to familiarize yourself with the bill. You do need to contact your family. You do need to make people aware that this bill will affect them. You have children in the UK. In school and they're not happy, as we know, many children are really struggling in the school system. Then these children are going to find it that much harder, parents are going to find it that much harder to be able to support their child through home education. Do you have any more stories?
Hi there. How are you? You okay?
Good, thanks.
Please bear with me.
You? Good, thanks. Yeah. Did you see the man climbing Westminster?
Is the narrative is that schools are always the best.
Yeah,
I
few.
have worked in schools, I am a qualified teacher.
Yeah. I don't know how you
Schools
got.
are not best for every child. Schools are unequipped to support the most vulnerable children. Schools can't cope with the issues relating to children's mental health, and it's resulting in these statistics that 200 young people of school age at schools are losing their lives every year because the systems are failing them. And I firmly believe that my child could have been this statistic if I had not taken them out of school. So before government wants to pull the way that our children are educated, try and force home educated children back into schools, they need to fix the broken systems that they broke in the first place. So that's my...
Sorry. Yeah, they are. They are going to. Sorry. Is he here? No. He's not around today.
Hi there, I'm Matthew. My son was diagnosed with autism. It's not a happy diagnosis, it's not a fashion statement, but it's really difficult. You take your child to school and the parent, the teachers try hard, but if a child is particularly affected by autism, it's for many schools, they just can't afford to look after them. And it's heart-wrenching to see your child not really doing well at school. He was bright, he's got an IQ of 140, but he can't engage. And we tried, my wife sat in the playground for hours to reduce his anxiety, and in the end the school just basically didn't want us there. So we started a homeschool. This wasn't something we had anticipated. I've done the educational system, I've got high qualifications, but we started doing that. And actually we've seen massive change. He's turned from a withdrawn child who couldn't even walk out the front door, was terrified of meeting other people, now happily going outside, playing, meeting other children from the home ed community, which is very welcoming. It's been brilliant. And now suddenly there's this bill that seems to bring this all to an end. We're going to be essentially treated as criminals, put on a list, simply because some people have died who have been homeschooled, but all the people who've been died and had these terrible things that happened to them and been abused have been well known to the authorities.
Exactly.
It's simply that there's not been the evidence to convict them. So why penalise home ed people? We're just putting firing lines. It's a tokenism to try and solve a problem which is much deeper. The legal system and how you tackle children who are being abused is completely different from being home educated. So that's what I need to say, but it's heart-wrenching for us, and I hope to gosh that my little boy is not forced back into school where suddenly he'll go back to how he was before. Thank you.
I think the thing is that most parents plan for their children to go to school, to be happy and to do well and to thrive. That's what most parents want. Most parents don't go into school thinking, if it doesn't work out, I'll take my child out. Your hope is that it will work for your child, that your child will be happy. Parents mostly only consider home education because something's gone wrong with the education system. We do need that option because for some children the system is simply not working. It's causing huge emotional and mental health issues for children. Britain has some of the least happy children in Europe, according to the Good Childhood Report by the Children's Society. And one of the big factors in that unhappiness is given as being school. And this is a very real problem in the UK today.
We're currently broadcasting live and direct in central London at the rally, again, at the London rally against Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill. Welcome onto the channel. My name is Louis Arrington. I'm an independent journalist. I cover a broad variety of protests and events on the channel, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. We are live and direct at Parliament Square at the moment. And also, as we see in the top corner, there is a man who's currently climbing Big Ben.
And we want them to have the freedom to continue to make that philosophical choice. One of the things that is often put in our drawer is that home educated kids are hidden and that bad things can happen to them. But the truth is, bad things are happening to kids in school all the time. Children are bullied, children are being made to sit in wet underwear, in wet clothing. Children are not able to, they're leaving school unable to read and write, or coming into secondary school unable to read and write properly. And there are huge issues within the school system, and unless those are addressed, we feel that home education has to stay an option for families. And actually I would always want to, even if they can post things, it needs to be an option for families because it works. Children are well, children are healthy, children are learning, they're learning in a way that is very natural, the way human beings were designed, and they are successful. I have 7 adult children now, all grown up, all home educated, working or at university and studying. There's nothing to see here. These kids are doing great. And we don't need the microscope on us. We don't need to come under the focus of Bridget Phillipson and her bill. There are far bigger problems she needs to be dealing with in schools right now. And breakfast clubs are not going to fix them. Free breakfast clubs are not going to suddenly make children mentally well and able to read and write. So it's not research based. There's no evidence behind it. In fact, evidence says the total opposite. So which they're ignoring. So I wondered if anyone else has a story or something they want to share. We would love it if any members of the public want to know more as well. You can come up now, Rowena. If any members of the public want to know more about home education and about the bill, we'd be happy to talk with you about it. I have some badges with the slogan on if you want to come and get one, if you feel you agree with us. And if you do agree with us, please get on social media. Our hashtag is Are You Listening Now? That is our hashtag, so please use it if you're sharing anything.
There's been a lot of talk about safeguarding and that we need to be regulated because of safeguarding. So I used to be a teacher in an inner city school in London, and I can say there are lots of safeguarding issues in school. I spoke to one of my friends who was a head teacher, who was a little bit against the idea of home educating. I said, could you guarantee that if my child went to school that they wouldn't be bullied, that they wouldn't be exposed to inappropriate graphical material, if you know what I mean, that they wouldn't be touched inappropriately by other children and things like that? And she said, no, I couldn't guarantee that. And that's the reality. When you look at statistics about schools, you see that many children are bullied, many children are exposed to inappropriate material from a very young age, many children end up hating learning as well. And so my experience with the home ed community is that they're some of the most dedicated parents you're ever going to meet, who are making huge personal sacrifices to give their children the best education they can, that our children are happy, and many children who in school maybe wouldn't be a good fit for school are absolutely thriving in home education. And my sign says this: when the state placed parent, children suffer. And I was speaking to another mum here, and we were saying that yes, the state should get involved maybe in the most extreme of circumstances, but even in the not very great circumstances, parents will still do better for the state. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, my name is Amelia. I was home educated for 10 years. I started at the age of 5. I left school because it just wasn't working for me. I couldn't get what I needed out of it, and so my parents took me out. I then was home educated for 10 years. This gave us so much freedom to learn different cultures and different, like all kinds of different places. We went to museums on Wednesdays. We saw different classes. We were able to have such a wide curriculum that you just aren't exposed to at school. So I did this for 10 years. And then I did go to college, I've been to university, I've got 3 degrees, so I've managed to have an incredible education right from the age of 5, becoming home educated, that gave me that love for education, that gave me the interest to go out and experience new things, and that got me through doing so many different challenging things, especially at university. I'm actually now a teacher, which is insane, really. So I teach geography for secondary school. I love my job, I really do. But the schooling is not big enough. We don't have the facilities that in schools that children need. Our classrooms are filled. We've got so many needs already that in terms of like SEN that we can't manage in mainstream. Right, for people that have autism or dyslexia, or people that have social emotional mental health, there are so many different things in schools that we just can't manage. And home education gives people those opportunities. Home education is a vital thing to have. But also, we live in a culture where we have freedom of choice, we have freedom of speech, and to say that we have to take that away is just completely wrong in my opinion. But I completely think it's amazing that everyone come here to speak, and I think it's great that we've got parents that are coming, but I just wanted to come and speak because I am a child of home education, and it was honestly the best years of my whole life.
Hello everyone, my name's Tracy and I'm come to support this amazing group of people, and well done for bringing this together. I'm from Support Not Separation. Our banner is down the end there, you will see, and I'm also part of the Disabled Mothers' Rights Campaign. But before I talk about the bill, I just want to say a little bit about myself. I am the mother of a severely disabled child, and I attempted to put him into school, and in those days had him statemented. And he suffered horrifically, even in reception. And I pulled him out and homeschooled him. And from pulling him out and homeschooling him, he went from a very distressed, upset, not able to learn child to a really blossoming and very gifted and very able to learn. In fact, he took his GCSEs when he was 7 years old. Now, I will tell you that I also made the fatal error of becoming a teacher. And I'll tell you what happens to our special educational needs children and what will happen when home educated special educational needs children are forced into school. They have what is now called an EHCP. But schools notoriously, and any teacher will tell you, that because of lack of funding to schools, those EHCPs don't go to the child that it's labelled for. They split the funding amongst many children, so your child might have one-to-one, let's say, for 15 hours, but I can assure you, they'll never get one-to-one for 15 hours. Now I want to talk about the bill and how it's going to affect home educators and all families around the country. This government want your children all to be tagged, basically. It's called an identifier. And each child will have a number. And next to that number, any professional, whether it's a police officer, a teacher, a social worker, a doctor, your GP, absolutely anyone will be allowed to get involved in your life. If you, and many of us as home educators, live alternative lifestyles, I know I did as a vegan, what they will do is say, we don't like the way you live, so they will force entry into your house, and they will have the powers to come into, right now they don't have the power, hold on a sec.
Make sure it's on,
Right now, they don't have the power of entry into your house. And I've had many social workers come to my front door when I was home educating, and I told them where to go. But on this new bill, they will have right of entry. They absolutely will. And they will have right to say, we don't like your educational choices, we don't like your medical care choices, we don't like how you're living, we're going to tell you how to live. Now, some of the families that's really going to affect are obviously the home educators, but those in particular who have special educational needs. They are going to be the most affected children. I just want to talk about a couple of other groups that I think are really, really, really important. And that is children living in deprived areas in this country, children of colour. Now they want to home educate, but they don't have the resources like some of us do to home educate, and they are also bigger targets for the state. They are 10 times more likely to be taken into care just because they are a child of colour. So they're going to be targets. Another group that's going to be severely targeted is those women fleeing domestic abuse, because they want their identities to be kept anonymous. Under this new system, they will not be allowed to have their identities kept anonymous, and in actual fact, the people that they're fleeing will be able to trace them under this new system into their new schools and through the healthcare and through everything else. This bill will have the effect of more children, and in particular SEN children, going into care. Let me tell you about SEN children going into care. SEN children are come under what we call deprivation of liberty, because they run home to their mums. Okay, so a court says, right, we're going to lock you up, and we are going to take away your internet, and we're going to take away your rights to anything, and they're kept in a locked room. And I know absolutely what happens to those children. They're not fed, they're kept in social isolation. Their only crime is often that they're autistic and their parents were homeschooling, and that they run home to their parents. Some of our other demands are that here under this bill, they want more social workers. And as we know, and as has already been said by sisters here, that Sarah Sharif was in school. Her father took her out when social services became involved because school reported them. Social services, because he was a very, very violent man, didn't want anything to do with it. So closed the case. 4 months later, that little girl was dead. And had social services jumped in at that point, that child would not be dead. Now the facts are this, that home-educated children are absolutely less than half as likely to be abused as a child in school, and children in school are abused by teachers at a much higher number than any home-educating parent. So we want to stop this bill. We say stop this bill in its entirety. And we hope that you will come and take some of our leaflets and come and support our campaign as we support your campaign to stop this bill in its entirety. Thank you.
So one of the reasons I started home educating was because I realized that no teacher would ever love my child as much as I would. No teacher would have any interest in what happened to my child when they moved on from their year group. No teacher would be thinking about my child when they were 35 years old. And I realized that I was the only one that would be, well, my husband and I, we were the only ones who would be prepared to invest wholeheartedly in our child and to be ready to take the consequences for whatever we did with our child, because we knew that she was our responsibility. And I think the thing that what so many people miss about school education is it's actually very new on the scene. For centuries, parents raised their own children. For centuries, parents educated their own children without any form of schooling whatsoever. The school system is designed to have a large group of children all move along in a supposedly standardized way, all at the same pace, which we know cannot happen. With children, it doesn't happen in pregnancy, it doesn't happen when they're children, it doesn't happen as we grow up. We all develop differently and grow differently. It is not one size fits all. And so we find that with home education, a parent can adapt and fit around their child's needs. They can meet their child's needs. They can access resources that a school could not offer them. They can also allow for a normal life. They can teach their child life skills. They can teach their child how to handle money. They can teach their child how to run a home. In addition,
we're going to be heading over to the Palestine protest.
And there's so many studies out there that show that when you allow a child is following their passions, that they retain that information. And even for you as adults, if you think about how you learn,
so as we see, a man has climbed Big Ben.
Welcome back to your channel, guys. So we're now at the Palestine Valley because a man has climbed up the whole city tower for the Palestine Tower protesting alongside this as well. Sorry guys, I just get to sorry.
The leader of Stop the War at the last march. The leader of Stop the War.
Oh no, not you lot.
Of course we are.
So as you see, a man has climbed the Big Ben.
Did I hear that right? Did I just hear that right? Did you get that?
What happened?
Or genocide.
We love you, Dan!
We love you, Dan! We love you, Dan!
So as you see, a man is currently climbed the Big Ben, and he's holding a Palestine flag.
A shift change, was it?
Sorry?
A shift change, was
Start
it?
the shift.
Oh.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free
Yeah.
Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Palestine! Free Palestine! If you've got this energy to talk to us, go talk to your parliament, go talk to your prime minister, go talk to your MP. They're supporting the genocide. Your taxes are paying for this. Your taxes are paying for the genocide. Have you just come out of rock? Have you just landed in this country or something?
Keir Starmer is in the process of cutting the state so that he can increase defence spending. Our government is more concerned with supporting the arms industry and supporting foreign wars than it is paying for people in this country. If you really care about being a British citizen, if you really are a patriot, then you should want the money to be spent here and not on foreign wars.
Yes!
Well, I suppose
Basically, we're mapping out why this is happening.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Zion photographers, mate.
Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
End apartheid!
End apartheid!
Decolonize!
Decolonize!
Metally, pick a side!
Pick a side!
Justice or genocide!
Justice or genocide!
Police, pick a side!
Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Starmer, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Starmer, watch your back!
Palestine is coming back!
Starmer, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Starmer, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
UK government, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
UK government, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Anti-ET have that assault. Try to stick up for ET. Forget her.
Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Starmer, hand in hand, thieves on stolen land. David Lammy, hand in hand, thieves on stolen land. Keir Starmer, hand in hand, thieves on stolen land.
Has climbed Big Ben and the police are trying to get him down at the moment.
Palestine! Stop the genocide!
Yeah, maybe we don't want to be fair.
We say end apartheid! Decolonize! If we don't get no justice,
Then you don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
Then you don't get no peace.
if we don't get no
Then
justice,
you don't get no peace.
UK government, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide.
Met police, pick a side!
Justice or genocide.
UK government, what do you say?
It's blocked anyway.
Killed today. UK government, watch your back! Met police, watch your back!
Palestine is coming back.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Stop the genocide!
That's very offensive.
There's always this racist bio photographer, and there's always a racist There's always a racist fascist copper protecting
Just record the mate. I don't know how you get around it.
We
It's close all the way down there when you need to go.
We know you pieces. We know what
It's close all the way down there when you need to go.
Racist, fascist, muck. That's what you are. A muppet. You're a muppet. Then get away!
Yo, chill. We love you! Stay safe! We love you!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide.
End apartheid!
Apartheid.
Look how it looks though. You're both blocking each other. But the only way of getting a protest, she has a right to film it, doesn't she? 'Cause it's a public place, man. Just because you're not happy about it, it's fine.
Oh, so I get this every single time. I get this every single time right here.
Pick a side!
Justice or genocide.
Met police! Pick a side!
Justice or genocide.
Met police! All the crimes in your name! Met police! Met police! Shame!
Excuse me.
Mass murder in your name! Ethnic cleansing in your name!
Do you want to go back to the children's rally?
No, say him. Say him. This will get us to a move. This will get us to a move now.
Yeah.
With them being like this.
We don't get no justice!
I ended that video now, no point.
We don't get no justice!
Then you don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice!
Then you don't get no peace.
Met police! Shame!
Shame.
All the crimes in your name!
All the crimes in your name.
I'm moving again, Lewis.
Mr. Mark Wright, and he's an inspector, not sergeant. His name takes the sergeant. I'm not sure who it was, but someone got straight ground. Just an early turn out of the
They are coming here, guys.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm sorry, it took me a second to register what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can do it right here, right? That protecting scum like this.
Stay safe! Hold on tight! We love you!
We love you.
We love you! Woo! Don't move! Stay safe, brother!
Stay safe! Stay where you are!
We love you, Dad!
We love you, Dan!
We love
do.
you!
We love you, Dan!
We love
We
you!
do. We love you, Dan!
We love
do.
you!
Oh, Dan, we love you!
We love you, Dan!
Is your live working?
Sorry?
Is your live playing ball?
It's working, yeah.
Mine is reconnecting again.
Yeah.
I need to keep this on now.
Definitely. I might go back to the children's rally for a tiny bit.
Go
Yeah,
on, I say
I'm going to
this
go back,
bit. Go on.
get the speeches. I'll come back here later. See you shortly.
They are part of all of us, and we want to show our support for...
Salud, aprovecho para saludar a mi madre.
What do you think? Hey, Bridget, hands off our kids! Can I ask that people please don't block the walkway? Please don't block where people are having to walk. Can the stewards just clear this walkway, please? Do we have anyone else who wants to share a story? Do we want to do some chanting? Do we want to chant this one? Our children, our choice, their voice? Yeah? Our children, our choice, their voice. 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 Our children, our choice, their voice.
Our children, our choice, our voice.
Their voice.
Oh, their voice too, okay. All our voices. This is me, Starlight again.
It is about the children. It's all about the children. I think anyone who raises a child and home educates a child makes the huge sacrifices to be at home with your children. It's definitely all about them and not about us. Have we got someone who wants to say a word? Yeah? Now hold it.
I promise I won't say anything.
Excuse me. Hi there. Would you mind telling my viewers why you're protesting in central London today?
We're protesting against the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill, which is going to basically erode parental choice in how children are educated. It's going to impose very heavy requirements on parents who actually are law-abiding, have not done anything wrong, totally acting within their legal rights. It's going to lower the threshold for sharing children's private information. It's a really bad bill. It's been rushed through Parliament. It's not given anyone enough time to scrutinise it, and we should be very worried about it.
What's so bad about this bill, and why do you think people should speak up against it?
Well, I have kind of gone over that already. One of the things is that I'm trying to think that it breaches the rights of the right to privacy for children and for parents. It also lowers the threshold for sharing data, whereas before you could only share information about a child if it was because they were at risk of significant harm. Now they want to make it that you can share data just to promote their welfare, which means that it can be interpreted in a way that is very negative for families.
Thank you very much for your time on camera. I'll show my channel if you want to subscribe. There's my channel. Nice.
I'm going to hand over the mic to Marita now, who's going to share a bit of her family story and how this bill could bring the same sort of things that she's had to experience.
I'm slightly nervous to talk about our family, but just a bit of background. I was a teacher and I loved school, my husband loved school, but we made a positive choice to home educate our children because we wanted to have the freedom to travel. We come from New Zealand originally. We wanted to choose the curriculum that our children might be looking at, and actually as I learned more about home education, I moved away from just a set curriculum because London is the most incredible place to educate children. You have got every opportunity here, all the things I could have done with the children in school, all their school trips, I could do with my children, but I didn't have to do one trip a year. I could do one a week, or 3 a week, or too many a week, and we ran out of money doing neat trips. So we have we feel it's a privilege that we were able to live in a society where we could home educate our children and expose them to the beautiful art galleries, to all the wonderful things, to also be able to travel home to New Zealand to see our family and to expose our children to different cultures, to go to France if they were so interested in something that happened in France. But we were really happy for quite some time, and everybody said yes, but they will never say anything about your family. They think you're wonderful, you are an outstanding Ofsted teacher, you know what you're doing, it will all be fine. That's not the case when you have a local authority who have a tick box process, and they determined that my children, one on a music scholarship, was a child missing education. We laugh that our children are potentially the most uneducated children in Bromley. They've been on school attendance orders for 6 years. They have absolutely no concerns about education. They have only a concern that we did not give them a piece of paper. Bear in mind that we were the silly ones. We let them into our house. They've seen all the pieces of paper. They know they exist. They are prepared to take us to court just to extract a piece of paper. With the last bill, I met Baroness Barron, and I said to her, you are proposing prison for not providing a piece of paper, not because a parent has done anything wrong. And she said, nobody will go to prison, they will just do as they are told. They are bullying us to give our children's data to the government. The Department for Education data breach children's data all the time. But they have anonymised school data. When I was a teacher, we anonymised the data. Our children's data will be all of their special needs, all of the things which are inside their heads. And I think that it is not okay that they have a different rule for us and that they threaten us with prison for not giving data, not because we are hurting our children. They need to follow the laws that they've already got. They need to prove that they can meet those. They need to protect the children that they are aware are being hurt and stop damaging my family. My children do not deserve to be told that they are uneducated. My eldest, who's here today, is absolutely wonderful. She is grade 8 French horn. She is having a wonderful time in an orchestra that is winning competitions. She was playing for Princess Anne in Buckingham Palace on Wednesday with my second daughter. She has passed loads of GCSEs, and yet they still think that my children are uneducated. What? There are so many children in schools being failed. There are so many people getting no provision at all. And yet, because we don't give a piece of paper, despite knowing all these things about my family, they were prepared to take us to criminal court, which means that then if I ever did decide to go back to teaching, I would no longer be allowed to. So they would then also lose another teacher. Many, many teachers home educate, and I think you need to ask yourself why. We are very aware of the shortcomings of the system, And it's not perfect, it's not terrible. I know wonderful teachers, I know people doing an excellent job, I know of children who are being failed. I've got so many stories, I could probably stand here all day. Can't believe I actually started talking, I was very, very nervous. But I just wanted to share a little bit of the troubles that we've been through. So my children, when I spoke to Baroness Barron, wanted to know which parent would go to prison. Would it be the mother? Would it be the father? Would it be both of the parents, or both the mothers, or both the fathers? Please don't forgive me. In a family situation, who would go to prison? They don't know. They don't actually know. And so my children have no idea. But yes, you're probably looking at the face of someone who may end up going to prison. So hopefully not. It's not my first choice of destination, but we feel very strongly that we need to stand up. And also, when we try to get the laws met, we've done subject access requests to our local authority. They refuse to give us our data because they know that it has got things in it which actually break the law. Our school attendance orders were quashed by the Secretary of State because they were issued in a form so wrong that they were deemed invalid and not in existence, but that wasn't before we had spent £10,000 on solicitors and barristers, meaning that my son, who is 7, hadn't been to New Zealand to meet his family because that's where all our money went. So I just think that they need to do a better job with the laws that they've got. They need to actually look for the children who are being harmed, and they need to leave the parents who are doing a great job alone. They don't need to collect all our data, and they don't need to monetize our children's data, which is what Defend Digital Me are particularly concerned about. And I think we need to stand strong and we need to protect our children's futures.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the things that this bill wants to introduce. So it wants to introduce a compulsory register for home-educated children. But this is not just a register where they have your child's name and address. It's a register which would involve your name, address, your protected characteristics, if you've got special educational needs. It's a list about this long, if I can about that long, very long list in the bill of all the information they would want. And basically what they are saying is that if you don't give that information, they can give you a school attendance order. Now, normally it's been you get a school attendance order if the education is lacking and they want to put the children back in school. This time it's more. It's about if you gave us all the information. One of the things they want you to ask, they want you to give them, is information about a private resource provider that you may be using. So I may contract with a tutor for my children. I would have to tell the local authority who I'm using as a tutor, and I'd have to give their name and address. And then the local authority could then go to that provider and say, can you give me information on this child and any other home-educated child you've had with you in the last 3 months? So that means you've got a lot of information being shared without consent for no reason other than because the government wants it. For no reason. And then they say, no, we want this bill in place because you're going to get support. We're going to give you support. The section on support is this long, and it says that the local authority must give support, but only as they deem fit. Okay, that is all. So they want you to give them all this information, and I'm talking about law-abiding parents, law-abiding families that are happy to cooperate within reason. And then, so if you don't give them that information, not only do you not get support, but do you want to know what the wonderful incentive is to give you them that information? You won't get a school attendance order and you won't get a jail sentence. So they want to compel you to hand over very personal information that no other group in the country, in the population, has to provide. Nobody else has to give that information, but home-educating parents, we're fair game. And that's because we are a small group in the general population, and they think we are a pushover. And they think they can target us and they will get away with it. But what they are doing is waking up the beast. They're waking up all the mother lionesses, all the angry mothers who have had to fight so hard for their children in school and then try and get them back to a state of health and well-being at home. Another interesting fact about the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill, it only has the word well-being in it twice. Another thing that's good to know is that previously they could share data without consent if it was to protect a child or because a child was at risk of significant harm. Now they can share, according to this bill, they just need to be able to promote the welfare and education of a child. That could be anything. That could be absolutely anything. They could make it up. And that is our problem, is that there is way too much scope for interpretation. We need the law to protect us. Normally, a good law will have protection built in for all parties. This law has no protection built in for home educating parents or for the children. We are totally at the mercy of the Secretary of State. So there are many reasons to be concerned about this bill, because it also is a direction of travel for parents and families under the law in future, and it could impact people in a very serious way. It could impact families. So those are just some really important things to know about the bill. If you are a parent in the UK, if your child is in school in the UK and you want to have options to educate your child at home because they're not coping in school, you need to know about this bill because it will affect you. I'm going to take a break now.
Great, that was great. Okay, my name is Nina and I'm from Support Not Separation. My colleague spoke earlier, and we're really delighted to be here because we have also been opposing this bill and we were looking for a strong movement, and together, as you said, the lionesses are going to stop this bill because that is what's needed. I'm really glad that we're raising about the issue of money, because money is just an excuse. We know from trying to prevent children going into care who should not be going into care and should remain with their mothers, we know that the local authorities are going bankrupt all around the country, while at the same time denying mothers the money and the resources that we are legally entitled to under Section 17 of the Children Act and also under the Care Act if we have disabilities. They rather starve mothers and children, then accuse the mother of neglect, and pour money into private companies that are then taking our children and treating them outrageously. Did you know, for example, that 450 children have died while in care in 10 years? We don't know anything about it. We don't know why they died. We don't know what happened to them. Nobody had looked into them. Now you can be sure that if it was mothers who were accused of killing 450 kids, it would be all over the media and we would know every circumstance. So we are going to look into that because all what the state is doing to our children has got to be exposed. And I have to say we have been picketing the family court once a month for 8 years, the first Wednesday of every month. And when we started, nobody knew anything about what was happening to children and the thousands and thousands that were being taken into care that should not have been taken. Now everybody's discussing it, and the courts have opened to public scrutiny. They were secret 8 years ago, they are not secret now. The movement of mothers has forced that to happen, and this movement of mothers and everyone else who supports the moms is going to force this bill to collapse because it deserves to collapse. So let's stay in touch and let's expose everything. Oh, also, you should know that in Scotland, they have the introduced a main person some years ago, which is the same as the identifier that they're talking about now, and it was defeated. Okay, the families defeated it, and we're going to defeat it now. Thank you very much, and give it over to Palestine.
We love you! We love you! We love you! Free Palestine! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever!
From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever! We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop the bombing now, 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 now! We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop the bombing now, 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 now! We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terror state!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terror state!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terror state!
In a thousand, in a million!
We are all Palestinians!
In a thousand, in a million!
We are all Palestinians!
In a million, in a billion!
We are all Palestinians!
In a million, in a billion!
We are all Palestinians!
Hurriya, hurriya!
Hurriya, hurriya!
Palestine Arabiya!
Palestine Arabiya!
Hurriya, hurriya!
Hurriya, hurriya!
of steel. Palestine! Free! Palestine! Free! Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river! Palestine will live forever! From the sea to the river! Palestine will live forever! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop sniping babies! Stop sniping babies! Stop sniping babies! Stop sniping babies! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing nurses! Stop killing nurses! Stop killing journalists! Stop killing journalists! Stop killing Palestinians! I'm hitting my friend. Stop killing Palestinians! Just don't hear with him, yeah? Palestine! Both are protection. I'm standing with him. Okay. Alright. I'm just independent. We're both independent press. And we're just here. Stop! Did you just say you're a member of the press? I don't. Show us your press card. We don't get no justice. Then you don't get no peace. If we don't get no justice, then you don't get no peace. If we don't get no justice, then you don't get no peace. We love you, Dan. We love you, Dan. We love you. 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 We do. We love you, Dan. We love you, Dan. We do.
I'm gonna zoom in.
We love you.
UK government, hand in hand! Thieves! On stolen land!
So as you see, a man has climbed Big Ben.
Hand in hand! No peace on stolen land! UK government, hand in hand! No peace on stolen land! David Lammy, hand in hand! No peace on stolen land! Keir Starmer, hand in hand! Peace on stolen land! UK government, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? UK government, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! Keir Starmer, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! UK government, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! UK government, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! Keir Starmer, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! David Lammy, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! David Lammy, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Keir Starmer, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing nurses! Stop killing nurses! Stop killing journalists! Stop killing journalists! Stop killing children!
If you stand there, you'll be here on camera.
Stop killing children! Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing doctors! Stop
I know, yeah. I'm used to it.
Stop killing nurses! Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing doctors! Stop killing nurses! Stop killing nurses! UK government, you can't hide! We charge you with Genocide! Keir Starmer, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! David Lammy, you can't hide! We charge you with genocide! UK government, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? UK government, watch your back! Palestine is coming back! Keir Starmer, watch your back! Palestine is coming back! David Lammy,
So as you see, a man has climbed Big Ben and he has a Palestine flag.
UK government, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? UK government, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Can someone please move this woman away? She's obviously a nuisance here. Do your job, man. Can someone move away? This is the racist, fascist police.
No, she just kicked me in the ankle. Yeah, she kicked me in the ankle like a bitch.
She literally put her leg out, that's all it is. She literally put her leg out, and I didn't involve him with anybody.
She's just assaulted someone.
Previous protest.
Oh, mate, go on. She's just done it again today.
No, I have not.
Literally
All
just
live stream.
You can see this is quite a tense situation for everybody.
No, it's not.
Everybody should be able to stand next to each other regardless of their political opinions.
And I wish that we could.
You're telling me that
Unfortunately,
there's an
she's
assault.
kicked people.
Alright? I can't do anything about that right now.
Why not? It's your job.
Because I'm doing a different job that
Well,
takes,
can you not get someone? You've
that
got a
takes
radio
privacy
there.
over that. Miss.
I literally didn't not doing anything, I'm just here filming.
Miss, listen to me, alright? I'm watching, you're doing what you're doing, they're doing what they're doing. There's obviously conflict between the pair of you. Alright? There's you by yourself and there's this group here. Are you able to
my
go?
mate is here.
Are
My
you
mate
able
is
to,
here.
can you go to the other side of the road?
Mate, I'm literally here filming. You can't move me on for filming. Section 17.
I'm not telling you that you can. I'm not telling you that I'm going to move you. I'm asking you if you can go somewhere else because there's obviously conflict between you and the group of people next to you.
Nothing though, it's them. I'm literally doing nothing.
A hand doesn't clap by
I'm
itself,
literally,
miss.
I'm literally doing nothing. I'm literally doing nothing.
So where's the friend?
With you. He is. He is.
He just said himself.
He's not. He's just said he's not with you.
I'd advise you guys, if you don't engage with her, then she won't engage back. I get
She's going around kicking people.
I get what you're saying. She knows I do, but you can see when you get arrested, right?
No, I don't. What are you filming for? Why are you filming peace activists?
This is live streaming right now, and that's my job today, right? That's the reason I'm walking around with a camera.
I did not kick anybody. I did not kick anybody.
Look,
I did not kick. Right, because I know it's being made.
But what I'm saying,
Literally, I'm live now, yeah? I am live. Everything is on live. Everything is on live. Everything is on live.
better places to stand than with a group of people. They're obviously hostile.
Lewis, I am not. I'm hostile to camera.
Alright, let me change the word. Antagonistic to each other, alright? You guys don't like her, and she don't like you guys. That's fair, right?
Palestine is coming back!
I get that from where you stand, yeah. It looks like I'm just ignoring her, antagonising you guys.
I've been watching you do it for 18 months.
I can't speak about other
genocide! No, yes you can.
This is the first time
Yes you can. That's why you're in uniform.
This is the first time that we've met.
No.
How am I supposed to arrest one woman?
You're speaking to her. You've got an officer beside you. You've got colleagues behind you. None of them are doing nothing. You're speaking.
I'm really sorry.
So how do you expect the public? How do you
With
expect
minimum 11 witnesses, she's committed an assault in front of you on camera. That's why we think we should be able to
Are you
arrest.
taxpaying police officers?
Batman, come
Yeah.
on, chill.
Do we pay tax? So what, who pays your wages? Who pays your wages? No, because your colleagues aren't doing anything. And you're still talking about she's assaulting everyone. Wait for one more time someone comes up to me and says he's assaulted someone. Making sure that I'll get a brief out.
How much? I won't ask you the salary, that's a rude question. Although, tell me if you want to. But that's what you're here for, right? To pay, you're here to facilitate peaceful protest between everybody. Yeah, I can't tell that what it's like. I can't tell you doctors people, she's assaulted people here in front of you. Can arrest them if you want to. I know this. We'll just tell you right now. I'd rather because a group of people, I'm sorry, let me speak to them. I take the word of all the people. So in the eyes of the law, it's arguably I don't know any of these people. We're all together for the same cause. So one person can say that person's told.
Do you know how long he's been up there for?
So?
How long has he been up for?
I believe it's
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
wow.
Zulu!
So this man up there has been here since 7 in the morning. He has currently climbed Big Ben and the police are trying to get him down.
The barrier's open! Run!
Woo! She was arrested and she wasn't doing anything to public health, but some divers had phoned up. There isn't.
He has got some. What they do,
I'm saying if I go to schools there, I don't know anything about it, right? But let's say we don't always get everything right. We should be doing that together. And if what you're telling me, because the way that you're telling me,
we love you! Stay safe, Dan! Hold on! Palestine! 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 Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state! Occupation no more!
Israel is a terrorist state! Palestine! 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 We charge you with genocide! 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 We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide! Palestine! Palestine! We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians! Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state! Terrorist state! Terrorist state! Terrorist state! We will never let you die! We will never let you die! We'll never be defeated! The people united! We'll never be defeated! The people united! We'll never be defeated! She's also outright.
We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop the bombing now, 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 now! We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop the bombing now, 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 now! We are the people! We won't be silent! Stop
Palestine! 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 Resistance is justified! Resistance is justified! Resistance is justified! Resistance is justified! Occupation no more! Is that terrorist state? Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state! Terrorist state! Terrorist state! Terrorist state! Palestine! 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 We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! I'll give you 5 more minutes. We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! Palestine! 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 Stop killing children! 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 Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! Stop killing babies! We charge you with genocide, Sam Copper. We charge you with genocide! Palestine! 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 We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians! We are all Palestinians!
We watched this and we went this way. We took it.
Molto idea. Vedi, non lo dico ai ragazzi.
I think that's a bit strict, but you know what I mean? It would be more. But it's less than going to see my family. It's 3.5 hours.
You can dress or cross-dress, shall we say, as a woman and teach your children. Be who you want as an adult. Be who you want. I've got nothing against you, that's your thing. But not in a classroom on young, innocent children. And my son, as I say, was taught these uncomfortable subjects. He come home concerned, upset. And do you know what? We went to Bury St Edmunds, my town, and there was a police officer come up to me and he said, "You can't say these words on the streets." And I said, "Would you do me one favour? Would you go to the school where my son was taught this and you will arrest that teacher for teaching these lessons to this classroom of children?" And he said, "No, I can't do that. But you can arrest me for speaking on the streets for warning all of you that this is being incorporated into the classroom of your children." Now I come with a different method of speech. Everyone wants to be calm and collective, and I'm an empath. I'm a compassionate man, I'm kind, I'm loving, and I have 2 children of my own. So I wouldn't be here to make myself look silly. I'm here to protect the generations of children to come, but more importantly, my 2 children. Now, I'm done with the nicey-nicey. I want to see people held responsible for the crimes they committed. And Westminster and Parliament are full of them. And I will say this, there's 150 parliamentary Labour MPs who have been done, or many of them have got away with it, with rape charges, grooming of children, pornographic images on laptops. Do you see any of them being arrested? No. Will they go into the House of Parliament and arrest these real criminals? Like Keir Starmer. He's crashing the economy, collapsing everything around us. The vital foundations we fought so strong for, our forefathers fought so strong for, the freedom of speech. And we need to incorporate that more so children of generations to come get up and speak their voice and stand up against this, because we're not going to be here forever. So our voice is truly important to the people. Our stand for freedom, our stand for generations to come, our children, is truly important. We need to give them a solid foundation so they know when our time is up, they are the next generation to stand up and speak up also on these really uncomfortable topics. Stop it in its tracks, because children don't deserve this. They now want to call paedophiles MAPs, minor attracted persons. Your government want to push this. How dare they? We are parents. We don't allow people to groom our children and sexualise over our children. I didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that. We come with a peaceful approach. We're not aggressive. We're not unruly. And I know some of these obviously are probably very good people. They've probably got children and grandchildren also, and they probably believe the same thing, but they have a job to do. We all understand they've got a job to do. They've got a job to keep, they've got a pension. But the real criminals are in Westminster and Parliament. You should be marching that way to arrest every single one of them. The one that you allowed to lead you into a dystopian nightmare of future. Keir Starmer. The paedophile protector who protected Jimmy Savile the most brutal. And your children's futures, and you allow them to get away with this. It's criminal. It's unjust. It's disgusting. It's satanic. It's demonic. And it ain't just the education department. They're now going into good homes, family homes, the social services, which work upon the government. And they're not just taking children away from disadvantaged families where they're not treated right or they're abused. They're now taking children away from families with an open voice like me. Parents that are standing up for their children against the government. Parents that won't vaccinate their children with the HPV vaccine or the COVID vaccine are taking children out of the homes, the social services, and the government are trafficking these children. They disappear in the system, they don't come back. They're gone forever. You're meant to be men, you're meant to be protectors. The police are meant to work on our behalf for justice. Law and order. If that's what you stand for, you should be marching to Westminster and arresting Keir Starmer. He doesn't work for the people. He works for the World Economic Forum. Or shall I say, the World Economic Paedophile Forum, because every one of us is paedophiles. Every single one of them. And your Prime Minister is a paedophile protector. You had people lining the streets of London years ago for Jimmy Savile to commemorate. Commemorate what? A paedophile! A criminal! The State Mandeville Hospital where he abused young children. Disgusting. And you let him get away with it. Yes, I come with a different voice and an aggression type of voice, but I'm a kind, compassionate, loving man and a parent of 2 children who cares for my children and every other child, because we're meant to protect not just our own children, but every single child that deserves our protection more so than anything else in this world right now. And you walk around and you buy your crap, immaterialistic crap out of these shops, and you go in a boozer and you go to the football grounds. You think that's more important than standing for your children? Disgusting. It's not. I know some of them police officers are watching me, and that's great. They're listening to me. And they've probably got grandchildren and children also. And they're debating this, and they're thinking, yes, this is wrong. You shouldn't have groomers in the school, teaching children 72 genders and sex positions and that. And someone will laugh at you. I see one over there, she's laughing at me. Is it laughter because I'm standing here in my truth? Or is it laughter because you feel uncomfortable that you're protecting these really sick, demonic, satanic criminals within Westminster and Parliament? That's what you're initially protecting. And the hat, the rim on your hat, is a Freemasonic symbol. Black and white flag, we know that. We know who you work for. Unfortunately, that's your job, I understand that. And there's some good coppers in the forces, there's some really good police officers in the forces that are doing the right thing by the people. But there's a lot that don't want to stand for the people. They want to serve their master, Keir Starmer, and his paedophilic party that have been done on many charges. And I'm gonna have to read this out. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to read this out, and it's gonna have to be done because it's important if I can find it, because it may have to be another time, but there it is. There's a whole list, unfortunately, of 6 satanic MPs within Parliament done on many charges. Lisa, have we got that? Where is it? No, it's not there. There it is. That there, mate, that there. That there. And I'm going to read this out. This is going to be uncomfortable reading and listening, because I feel uncomfortable reading it, but it has to be said. As you have police officers over there, they'll know many of these names I'm going to read out now. Starting with the fact that the government are trying to stop the grooming of children. No, they're not. They're defending the grooming of children. Now, they'll predominantly tell you it's the Muslim community and the Pakistani community. It's not. It's of white colour as well, and they're in the Houses of Parliament and Westminster. That's why they won't put any crimes within the communities, these grooming gangs, because the grooming gangs are working on behalf of the government to abuse young children. And we're going to read these names out. You're going to listen to it, and it's going to be uncomfortable. If you've got children, you may want to put your hands over their ears, because it's uncomfortable, and it's going to be read. Starting firstly, Brian Gates, Labour councillor and school governor for child welfare, caught downloading child pornography. Graham Pearson, Labour Lord Mayor school teacher and nursery school governor, caught with child porn images. Richard Harris, Labour councillor candidate and school governors, arrested for offering children money for sex. Ben Williams, Labour councillor and school teacher, arrested over child porn internet searches. I'm going to say before I carry on with that search, many of these have been and gone within the House of Parliament, some still work, and they had such a thing called Pi. It was a paedophile internet search of many of these people connected to each other in Parliament, in the House of Parliament, Westminster. And I'll carry on. Paul Diggett, Labour Party councillor candidate and school governor, caught downloading child pornography. Cyril Smith, we'll all remember that if you were born in the 70s, the fat slobbering git. Cyril Smith was a Labour councillor and teacher at Cambridge House Boys' Home in Rochdale before he joined the Liberals. He was a councillor, depraved sexual acts upon little boys. Can you believe it? You've took advice off these in the last 4 years for a cough and a sniffle. And your children, many children have been abused in the process. Timothy Edmonds, Labour Party organiser, Lord Mayor assistant, school teacher, helper, scout leader and child rapist. John Fiery, Labour councillor and school governor, guilty of grooming a child for sex. Keith Rogers, Labour Party councillor and school governor, making 2,000 child rape images. Alec D. Dyer Atkins, Labour councillor and school governor, 2 years for 42,000 images of child abuse. Adrian Circuit, Labour councillor and school governor, 3-year community order for child porn. 3 years! Life should have been that. Steve Carnell, Labour councillor and school governor, found guilty of child porn. Greg Vincent, Labour councillor and school governor, guilty of child pornography. Nelson Bland, Labour councillor and school teacher, guilty of making child porn images. Nelson Bland, Labour councillor and school teacher, guilty of making child porn images again. Keith Potts, Labour Party councillor and school governor, guilty of making child porn images. John Johnson, Labour Party councillor, guilty of downloading child pornography. Manish Sood, Labour MP candidate, offering children money for sex. Can you believe this? They're working in Houses of Parliament. Disgusting, really, really disgusting. Mark Tan, Labour Party activist who knew Blair raped 2 little girls. Peter Tuffney, Labour Party advisor to Hazel Blair's, kidnapped a child for sex. Mark Trotter, Labour activist for 2 Labour councillors, raped children whilst diagnosed with AIDS. Should that sicken you as a parent? Absolutely filthy. Philip Leon, Labour Party advisor and aide to Tony Blair, was caught of making child pornography. Willie Smith, Labour council leader, arrested over child pornography. Samuel Gamlin, Labour Party spin doctor, making child pornography and accessing child porn websites. Yusuf Hasid, Labour representative for London Mayor Ken Livingstone on the GLA, arrested on child porn charges. Darren Pedley, Labour councillor and school teacher, arrested by police on child porn charges. Susan Smith, Labour councillor, Lambeth, this is going to get you here. Councillor of Lambeth, 18 months in prison for raping a minor in her transvestite's lover's flat. These will work in the House of Parliament. Do you agree with that? Keir Starmer? That's why he's protecting the grooming gangs, because he knows these people exist in his building. And they're all of white colour! And they want you to divide it as segregated because race, culture and religion. And you've all got your eyes at the Muslim community and the Pakistani community, when these are of white colour working for your government. Gilbert Ben, Labour Party councillor, 5 years prison for molesting an 11-year-old male child. Leston Tudor Davies, Labour councillor, 7 years prison for raping a 9-year-old girl in South Wales. Les Shepherd, Labour councillor, 10 years for molesting 3 children in County Durham. It gets worse, and there's only a few more to go, and I'm going to read them out because they need to be heard. David Spooner, Labour councillor, 12 months prison for indecency in front of 2 children. Neil Redrup, Labour councillor, 4 months prison for using a spy camera to film a child on the toilet in his flat. Labour. See, I'm reading Labour out all the time, and who's in charge of your fucking country at the moment? Mind my language, I do apologise, but I am very, very disheartened the fact that we've got paedophiles, molesters, nonces within the Houses of Westminster and Parliament who are dictating to the people of this country that they should stay home for a cough and a sniffle, 4 years ago, cough and a sniffle, and they took your rights away from you. It was disgusting. It wasn't right. We'll carry on. Joseph Shaw, Labour councillor, caught with child abuse images. Jonathan Phillips, Labour councillor, found guilty of child porn found on his memory stick. Lee Benson, Labour councillor, found guilty of child pornography images found on his computer. Raymond Coates, Labour councillor, arrested for multiple child rape along with his son. Graham White, Labour councillor, guilty of filming a child doing sex acts. John Murray, Labour Lord Mayor, sexual assault on a child. Mark Toombs, Labour Party councillor, nominee and school governor again, arrested for child porn and child grooming. Enough said. There's a few more. You don't need to say any more than that. That's your government. That's who you're defending. When there's people here standing for their rights and their freedom and their futures for their children, when they know these dirty ass molesters, paedophiles and nonces are in that stinking building over there, full of shit. And the one down the road, number 10, where Keir Starmer resides. And hopefully he's in today and we'll say, hello, Mr. Keir Starmer, remember me? I'm not here to attack you aggressively, but I will speak my voice and I will attack you with my voice. And now he wants to put patriots away in prison for speaking the truth. Freedom of speech. This one over here, Winston Churchill. I'll tell you a little story about Winston Churchill. Everyone goes there and commemorates Winston Churchill. Did he get out of the trenches to protect the people of this country? No, he sat back, the fat slobbering git, with his cigar, puff, 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 while all them poor 17-year-olds, men, were pushed out into the trenches, pressurised into the trenches to lose their lives for you, every one of us. They're the true heroes of this country. They're men that wasn't given an option or a choice, they had to stand. And I'm not going to give up my right of freedom of speech to stand up for my children, my community, my town and my country, when there's men like that give up their rights, their futures and their lives selflessly for us. Great, courageous, brave, strong men. And I hope they can hear me at home if they see me. One day you'll stand with us, because I'm proud of every single one of you that stood for us and our children. So we owe our children every right to stand for them and make sure their future's bright, it's free and it's peaceful, because they deserve that. And our forefathers will be looking down upon us from the skies above, and they'll be looking at that sweat slobbery get up there that's put up there as a monument, believing he was a hero. He wasn't no flipping hero. And I'm going to mention one other man here that's marched through these streets for a lot of people, that's caused divides and segregation, and his name is Tommy Robson. I'm going to say that because I've met him, right? But many people believe he's a great, courageous man, right? So he comes out in the streets, and he says, oh, we've got to get these rape gangs, we've got to get these grooming gangs, right? But what he does it with a little touch of segregation and division. He wants to divide people over the colour of their skin. Is that the right way forward? No, unity is key. Unity is key. Unity is key. We need to stand amongst one another, for each other, together, not against one another. And Tommy Robson comes here and everyone shouts, Tommy Robson, Tommy. What are you achieving shouting his name? He ain't going to come and save your children or your family. I'm going to save my children. I don't need his voice to tell me, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do. What have you done? You sat at home when people were standing here for the freedom of speech, to stand up for the rights of our children. Tommy Robson, knock him on the head. He's nothing. He's rubbish. They all went down here with a big screen down here. Big screen. Who put a big screen up? Westminster, Parliament and the police force put that big screen up so they could see, oh, MCA. Some geezer from America said, look, Donald Trump really appreciates you. He's a great guy. Can we all sing YMCA? Everyone to clap along. And they had all these people down here saying they would protest. They weren't protesting. They were here for us singing a song and a dance. I'm here to put a message across for my children. I'm here to make these people aware in Parliament. We're not sticking this anymore. We want justice. Justice for all. Not for the children just in this country, but all around the world that have had to suffer at the hands of this corrupt system. The poor children in Gaza, murdered, obliterated, destroyed. The cultures of the Aborigines, the native Indians, the Nigerians that the colonial armies supported by your monarchy of old, where they went in there and fleeced cultures and religions and races and heritage, and stripped them down to the bones and took their rights away from them, and they lost everything. Because these idiots in here just threw a few pennies and scraps and crumbs on the floor, and you thought they were giving you everything. They were giving you nothing. They haven't kept to their promises once, none of them. They say they're here to stand for the people. When do they stand for the people? Never! And I can stand here all day and talk to you all day long, and there's going to be people that ain't going to listen to a word I have to say. I don't really care, as long as my voice is heard in my head and I can feel it and I can see it, and I know my children are going to be proud of me one day for doing the right, honourable thing, standing for the protection of every single child, your grandchildren and your children also. So please do the right thing, because you're going to have one choice to make in the future. What side are you standing on, the light or the dark side? Are you standing for the children, the generations to come, or are you going to stand for these pedophiles, nonsense, groomers in the House of Parliament of Westminster? And I've said enough. Footsteps of freedom. Save our children.
I don't really know where to go from that, because Aaron's speak was full of passion, empathy and understanding. My delivery is different to Aaron's. My background, I've been mentoring young people for 30 years, or 31 if you want to be precise. And I'm seeing the damage and the harm that this country is doing to our children. When I see children walking down the street, my heart actually cries, because they don't know what's coming. They don't have the voice. We as the adults, we have the voice. And I don't want my grandchildren to come to me in the next sort of like 15 years and say, Grandad, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you speak up? Well, I am speaking up. I'm speaking up for my children and my grandchildren. I'm concerned about where this society is taking our young people. And the overriding message I've got is they don't have a voice. We have the voice. And just let me point over to the organisation over there. We're not party with that organisation over there, but I'm in support of what they're doing. I support what they're doing. But we're two separate entities. We are here speaking on behalf of the children. They're here speaking on behalf of the children. The message is different, but it's the same overriding message. We are here for the children. I've got a song which I'm absolutely passionate about, and it's called In the Ghetto. And part of the lyrics go, or do we simply turn our head and look the other way? And the reason we turn our head and look the other way is because it's not affecting us. It's not affecting us yet. But it will one day. It will affect us one day. And then it will be too late. So Aaron's message is one of urgency. My message is a slightly different tone, but it's the same message. When I work with young people, and they come up to me 15 years later, 10, 15 years later, and say, thank you for what you've done, you helped change my life, that is powerful. That is powerful. So, again, parents, please don't let your children come up to you years later and say, why didn't you do something? Why did you ask Aaron to be quiet because what he said was offending you? These are the things that we need to take on board. I worry for the next generation. I've had a life, and I've lived a long life. I don't intend to go anywhere just yet, because I still have a job to do, a job of fighting for the children. When we see young men out on the streets fighting each other, stabbing each other, where's that come from? That's come from division. That's come from society dividing. We must not divide. It's vital we do not divide. That is what they want us to do. They want us to argue amongst ourselves, because as soon as we divide, we become weak. If I look at my friend Dean here, me and Dean are good friends. Me and him fall out. All of a sudden, we're half the strength we were before. So we need to take that on board. If you don't like the message or don't like the tone, don't listen to the tone. Please listen to the message, because that's what's more important. The message, the children. The message, division. We cannot allow ourselves to be divided any more than what we are. Every single week, month, we see something else comes up in the news to divide us. We watch the television. The television tells us things, we believe it. It's called indoctrination, television. So when we listen to that, be critical. Think about the message they're saying. I look at the police. The police are working for, are they working, well, I'm going to ask a question. Do you think they're working for the public or for the corporations? I suspect and I suggest, from what I'm seeing, it is the corporations. And that, again, is a great concern, I have respect for the police, and I hope they have the same respect for people like myself who've got the bravery to speak out about what's going on. Because it's very easy to sit back and let somebody else do the talking. You know, and like I say, Aaron's speech was absolutely powerful. And talking after Aaron is it's almost impossible to do. But I'm doing my best to try and send a message in a slightly different tone, a different way to Aaron's, but we work together. I respect what he says, I believe what he says, but like I say, as a former teacher, I'm looking at the bigger picture and trying to reach out to everybody. I do not want division. I want people to come together. I want people to come together for the children, for them. They don't have the voice. We do. And by the time they do have the voice, guess what? It just might be too late. So make sure you speak for your children. Please, please, if there's one thing I ask you to do, speak for your children, you know. They do not have the voice. And look at them. Fills my eyes with tears. Speak for your children, please. Thanks for listening.
And then Jane comes along, this sweet woman that's had my back, and I meet her from Leeds. A 35-year-old woman that's lost her children to social services through the wars. And now we're making a stuff. Oh, it's got to be quite good. We were talking about it being in. No, and that's what's probably frustrating. People will put a thing out. Apparently we've got a time to do like some celebration. Me being a fake and shoe. I left my wife and children. My children. We lost my relationship.
I've tried to calm down. I've tried to calm down. Well, I'll send you a picture, guys. You think it's a word? Have you got it now? You got it? Right, you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. We don't need no registration. We don't need no state control. No permission for the bathroom. Keeping us safer when at home. Hey, Bridget! Leave our kids alone! Leave our kids alone! Calling all the kids, learning at home!
Mind your bloody business! Mind your business! Start like again, twice.
All the Palestine coming together as well. We're going to change the battery and have another go. We've got about half an hour until we don't officially have permission. Do you think we can and then we'll be spotters!
They don't block the pathway this way.
Please move out of the way, the cops are coming. Come forward. Police are coming. That's it, clear the walkway. They'll march through in a minute.
As well.
I've got it going good, haven't I? You've done very well. Just I left 300 and I cut across the bridge with that because brilliant. People got abusive to me because they see this here and then that protest. So I stopped this was like, so this is to do with it. I'm like, no, I'm protesters. They're going to try and kill you.
There's our barrister.
Yep.
Hi everybody, the police have just asked
asked us if we can move our protest because they are going to be working over here, and they've asked us to go and to stand along over the back of the park there, just in case they need the extra added excitement of bringing in a helicopter. So could we please make a sensible procession that way and set ourselves up over at the back of the park?
So we can stay, but we're going to go down there.
Well, we are now walking protesting. Home educators, we're moving this way. This way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Shall we stand by Millicent Fawcett? Yeah, one police officer, we should move all together.
Okay, I'm waiting for everyone else to come up. Sit up here.
It is, yes.
Come on, let's move it along. It's okay. As long as I can take this behind me.
The chicken was like, I want to.
That's quieting down a lot, the general buzz.
It's because they've shut off the bridge. You can't go off the bridge. Somebody has to scale.
No, no. I'll have it. No, I had to come around.
Should we sit here, boys?
Over here, but when we leave it there, just in case the person who
Okay, we're all coming over here now. All the home educators, have we still got some way back there? I'm not sure. Are there any still left behind?
Yes, but we're waiting still this whole team is there.
The police are saying no being on the square. They're clearing everybody from the square.
Let's just wait for everybody here so we don't have to see. We're going to go live again. Right, there's the other there. The police just said we've got a complete... Sorry, I'm waiting for everybody here so we don't get confused because we don't want anybody going off in different directions. We're waiting for the group to get to
They need to, but the police said to put it to Rita or to Amy because they're organising.
Yeah, they've just spoken to a lady.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, so we'll let lady come and check the dog.
No, you didn't. And they were like, let's see. No, they would say they want to. land a helicopter. Why? We're Amy and is anyone down?
We've got to go up there. We can't be here. Over there.
I think let's just wait. Let's just wait till everyone's here.
So what they're doing?
They need to talk to Amy or Marita who have organised it, not to us because but now Marita, let's just say we're getting too many different messages. That's the problem.
We see like where we were, there's no conversation.
Yeah, well, Marita's one.
There's a lot of fuss with one bloke and one. But also what I've noticed is that how many people there
I'll organise it there. No matter
Apparently you're right. But obviously if anyone happens to start shouting and getting you guys across the road like quickly. I don't know actually. I suppose it would be the exit. Thank you very much. It's been a wedding.
Hi everybody, what she's saying is absolutely right. We were told we could stand here, but they have now extended the line, and so we do need to keep moving down towards Four Scouts. So I'm really sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. It's not their fault either, they didn't climb the tower. So if we could sensibly move towards Four Scouts, that would be amazing. Thank you, and sorry about the inconvenience.
Thank you very much.
And on the upside we get our moving practice.
Yeah.
You just said what Mummy did, fell down the slope.
Head round to the, like, so head away from the House of Parliament, and then basically make a right into the park, and then we'll be all on the side, of that park.
Now, mate, give me your bag.
Yeah.
to get everyone out sort of at the same time.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm an independent journalist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I cover a variety of protests and all sorts of stuff in central London.
Amazing.
Yeah. at the YouTube channel. Here's my channel if you want to
Oh yeah,
subscribe
I'd
to
love
it.
to.
So are they closing this area off then? Or?
So they're closing the square off because
Yeah.
they think, oh, thank you.
No worries.
My student.
Yeah.
Louis or Lewis?
Louis. Yeah.
They're closing the square off because they might bring in a police helicopter.
Oh gosh. For the guy who's
Or
climbing
the
the web.
Friends from Gaza
Yeah.
on the tower.
Yeah, he's on the Big Ben.
Yeah, it
he's
looks amazing.
on Big Ben. I filmed it earlier and then I saw there were a lot of people as well. And then there are like protesters on the road there.
Yeah,
so
there are as well.
I might go cover that later.
I'll let you get ahead so you can...
Definitely.
It's not home education. Is this?
How much work do you actually do here? And do you enjoy it and you get on with it? Whereas there's a school, or if it's a school, would you do that? Do you enjoy that? That's just, would you be able to work as effectively as you do? Yeah. Our sign got closed. Quick word, the community can go off the top. But that one.
Two police cars responding.
My children.
And there's the one there in the war room. We get vaccine for children. I didn't actually say I don't think anyone wants to do the chant, you know. If you got the music. Yeah, if you had I think Floyd played really good. We rehearsed Pink Floyd. We think it'd be complicated.
I thought the green was yours.
Right, it used to be, but they stopped. Basically, people set up camps there and just stayed there permanently. There was anti-Afghan war, anti-Iraq war, something like that for about a year and a half. Don't get them out.
I know, like everyone's now spread out and we're like actually looking. You don't realise how many people there are. We're all and you get to see postcards. That building's the Admiralty.
I thought we get history as well. Fantastic. Yeah. Every day's a learning day. Tour of London. Yes.
Number 10.
Have we been upgraded? From Parliament Square to 10 Downing Street?
Kia! Oi, Kia! Resign. I'm sure Keir Starmer's there too. I'm sure he'll stay well away from us.
Anyone know what's over there?
A tree?
Yeah, that is true. I was thinking a bit further than the tree. About a mile that way.
Buckingham House.
It's Buckingham Palace now. It was Buckingham House. It was Buckingham Palace after Queen Victoria.
We're currently at Horse Guards Parade.
Ah, perfect. Good. Hello.
Showing you all their lovely signs. The majority of these signs have been made by the children educated, sharing their experiences, showing photos.
We have blankets so we can sit anywhere. Sit down.
I think it's striking. I love like rainbow, pastel.
Judge Podge!
Alexander! Yes, ma'am. No. Hey, you're going to get your top dirty, Alexander. We're going to put you in the washing machine.
Going to head back to Parliament Square as there's a Palestine protest taking place just outside Parliament. We're heading back towards Parliament Square now, as there's the man who climbed Big Ben and the police are trying to get him down.
Houses of Parliament.
you have to be invited.
No, you don't have to carry it. No, you don't have to carry it.
For free, you can print your face. Yeah, shake that.
Forget that this is still going on.
He was brilliant.
We want to eventually go left. Almost there.
The man is still on Big Ben, as we see in the distance. So the police have formed a cordon over here.
Until the protest has been brought down safely by the fire brigade.
So we have to walk around.
Hello, good morning.
Doamă, să te crede de protestă. Ja să dati bo protesta se gnjom najveći kanal. Da dobro ko što svi.
So we have to walk around as there's a cordon formed by the Met Police.
Right.
I wish the church
We're going to cover the Palestine protest outside Parliament. There's a man who climbed Big Ben earlier and he's still on top of it. And the police are trying to get him down. Got tents set up here as well. Yeah, busy day.
Yeah.
As we see, the police have formed a cordon over here. Okay. Did you see what happened? The guy climbed Big Ben.
Yeah, that's right. I was coming here anyway.
Yeah.
It's still up there, right?
Yeah, it is. There's the Palestine protest down there as well. You're going to go cover it?
I don't know. Now, I'm going to film that or what? Like a long one.
Yeah.
We're going to go somewhere.
Yeah. Doing a live stream.
Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. Yeah. So they formed a cordon now. The cordon wasn't here before, but now it is.
Yeah, but they're still letting vehicles in.
Yeah.
So how does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Also, this is the day when they're meant to remember the injured. That's tomorrow. Why are they letting vehicles in?
Yeah.
Why have they stopped there? They want to stop.
I think so.
We'll get to it. Bye. See you around.
Definitely. Yeah, see you around.
Oh, wait till we walk to stay on this side. We're back, we might see this
So the police have formed a cordon around Parliament, so there's no access to get there, unfortunately. Going to be ending the live stream here. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Lou Arrington. I'm an independent journalist and I cover a broad variety of protests and events on the channel. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you stay notified whenever I go live or upload a new video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be live and direct at Speaker's Corner tomorrow at around midday onwards. So be sure to tune in then on that live stream. Thank you for tuning in and see you all on the next live broadcast tomorrow.